Trinidad and Tobago's state-owned oil company confirms all jobs will be lost when the refinery closes. That's our top story in Caribbean Newsline for Tuesday, September 18. From the CMC News Center in Bridgetown, I'm Nicole Best. Good evening. State-owned oil company Petrotrin has announced that all employees will be put on the breadline when the company shuts down its loss-making oil refinery later this year. At a media conference on Tuesday, Petrotrin chairman Wilfred Espinay defended the decision to shut down the refinery and send the workers home, saying that the company was losing billions of dollars annually. He said the company had made it clear to the Oilfield Workers Trade Union, that OWTU, on the day that it presented the policy to shut down the refinery and reorganize the company, that it was intended that everyone would go home and the company would rehire the people that with the skills for the work that is going to be done under the new exploration and production division.
The union meeting, we made it abundantly clear that the intention was that all the people should go. And of course, that has become a question as to, yeah, but what about this here and that there and that there? And I'm saying to you, the intention is that there will be a rehiring, because the process of fitting the right people into the right position is a critical part of the process. And I can't imagine how that is going to be done unless you go into a system where you make it abundantly clear I think that in the early days we talked about having a fair, a work fair, and letting everybody apply and seeing if they fitted into the thing. But this is, for us, the way that the board has chosen to go, where we said, all right, well, in the essence of doing it fair and open, let's do it where everybody is removed and you hire back those that you need.
According to Espinay, Petrotrin has 3,400 permanent employees, but he says because the temporary workforce changes on an almost daily basis, it is difficult to accurately state how many people will be affected by the closure. Meantime, Energy Minister Franklin Cann says the compensation packages for the retrenched workers will cost government more than $1 billion. Speaking in the Senate on Monday, he said the OWTU and Petrotrin Board of Directors planned to meet to discuss the termination packages for the affected workers.
I personally said the packages will be upward of $1 billion. And if you take $1 billion, and if you take the collective agreement and you do some basic calculation, it is obviously more than $1 billion. But the state, the government, and the Board of Petrotrin is willing to sit down with the union, go through all the numbers, and possibly offer some enhancement to that package.
The Keith Rowley administration said that more than 2,500 workers would be laid off as a result of the closure. Cann told the Senate that the figure was 4,700, including approximately 3,500 permanent workers and 1,200 non-permanent workers. Meantime, the OWTU General Director, Ansel Roger, suggests the figures can't be trusted, and he's also questioning government's sincerity about giving the union a chance to take over the refinery operations, saying that the OWTU has not received any response from government to its proposal.
The OWTU is saying it's somewhere in the vicinity of 9,000, with over 40,000 people Roger estimates would be affected. Roger maintains in the plan presented to the government, solutions were provided for the main issues concerning Petrotrin, such as revenue collection, a cash injection, and the preservation of the country's energy sector.
Why is the government still hell-bent on going down that road? What could be the reason? Because Monday last to now, we have had neither an acknowledgement nor a response from the Prime Minister's office for the proposal that we would have delivered.
And as such, Roger questions the initial proposal made by the Prime Minister, giving the OWTU first preference to own and operate the refinery's assets, saying based on the lack of communication, it appears a lot of seriousness wasn't attached to that statement. The OWTU leader says the union's proposal would see production rise from 40,000 to 60,000 barrels per day without any major capital injection. Retired Director of Energy at Industrial, Jim Catterson, believes Keeping Petrotrin in the hands of the state could augur well for the country once investment opportunities are capitalized upon. He says if government shuts down the refinery, the entire country would be caught in the backlash.
The closure of that refinery will decimate this part of the country, and ultimately it'll decimate the economy of the country as a whole. That's why I said at the beginning, I cannot see how this makes any economic sense whatsoever.
Still in Trinidad and Tobago, Chief Justice Ivor Archie has broken his silence on misconduct allegations leveled against him, saying they are false and unsubstantiated. Last month, the Privy Council dismissed his effort to halt an investigation by the Law Association into his private life and alleged business dealings. But at the opening of the law term on Monday, the embattled Chief Minister defended himself as he spoke on the issue for the first time since the allegations were raised in a series of newspaper reports in November last year. Uvashi Tuwari Rupnarayan of CNC3 News has that story.
It's his 10th opening address at the first sitting of the court, and Chief Justice Ivor Archie confronts the many issues surrounding his tenure.
It is true that the judiciary has been faced with the challenge of me being the subject of more than 20 articles making false and unsubstantiated allegations.
Early in his speech, C.J. Archie referenced the quote-unquote periodic onslaughts to which the judiciary has been subject to over the years.
Much of the criticism that we currently experience comes from a continued search for relevance on the part of some who have not quite realized that the world has changed and left them behind.
But serious allegations shroud this CJ's tenure that he used his office to fast-track HDC homes for individuals and that he tried to influence judges to change their state-provided security in favor of a private security firm.
All of us in Trinidad and Tobago value and need a free and responsible press. For that reason, I have thus far been restrained in my legal responses to certain false allegations made in the media, although I do reserve my right at an appropriate time to such recourse as I have as a private citizen.
Aside from the allegations of misconduct leveled against C.J. Archie, his professional aptitude became the center of a legal matter when Marcia A. Caesar was appointed to the High Court. And since that time, the Law Association of TNT commissioned and completed what is known as the Desiree Bernard Report, which looks at TNT's current appointment process. And the Chief Justice chose not to shy away from offering his overall thoughts.
There is nothing there that is new to the debate. What we continue to suffer from in this country is an implementation deficit and an under-resourced judiciary and JLSC. Plain and simple.
Haitian President Jovenel Moïse has called on newly installed Prime Minister Jean-Henri Chant to ensure that there's total transparency in an investigation regarding the use of funds under the Petro-Carib initiative. Speaking during the inauguration of the new Prime Minister and his cabinet on Monday, the president said people are asking for explanations on the use of this money, and the services of the Central Financial Intelligence Unit, the Anti-Corruption Unit, and the General Inspectorate of Finance will be mobilized to get those answers. In the meantime, Moïse asked for calm as the relevant institutions carry out their work to get to the bottom of concerns about how funds were being spent. A Haitian Senate Commission investigative report last year alleged a significant amount of money had been embezzled under the Venezuela oil program. And still to come in Caribbean Newsline, Dominica's Prime Minister reports considerable progress in rebuilding the island a year after Hurricane Maria. Stay with us. There's more news after the break.
This summer and fall, Brilliant Barbados is offering you hotel discounts of up to 40% off regular rates when you book through Expedia before October 31st, 2018. Discover our Dine Around program specials at participating restaurants across the island, starting from US $50 per person on 3-course meals. For further information and full details to book your Barbados holiday, visit brilliantbarbados.com.
You started this as a co-production with Ken in a way of creating that content to show off what he really wanted to do and how to transcend that, what cars can do for action sports, vice versa, in a sense.
Exactly. I mean, that was the kind of thing for us, was action sports was such a part of our lives, and it trained us the way we did things. Like, if you watch the Gymkhana films, you'll see that nobody was doing car videos like that, but we just looked at it from the way that we made skate videos and said, well, why don't we?
Dominica on Tuesday observed the first anniversary of the devastation caused by Hurricane Maria last September, with Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit saying that considerable progress had been made in the rebuilding effort. Hurricane Maria, packing winds in excess of 160 miles per hour, slammed into the eastern Caribbean island on September 18, 2017, leaving 30 people dead, another 30 missing, and damage estimated at millions of dollars. But speaking on local radio, Skerrit said all things considered, the country's rehabilitation has been substantial.
We have been able to get back all our schools functional. We have been able to get electricity and water back to every community in the country. We have been able to help thousands of citizens have their homes recovered and repaired. We have signed contracts for several hundreds of housing units. Some of them have been constructed and are under construction. Our agricultural program is back in full gear. We're exporting agricultural produce to our various markets. Business activity in Dominica is largely back to normal. So one can say that there has been tremendous progress, and we have been able to mobilize the international and regional communities to our assistance and their commitments to significant sums of funds to assist us in building the world's first climate resilient nation.
Skerrit said there has also been tremendous progress within the tourism industry, with many hotels under construction continuing apace and others expanding their properties. But he acknowledged there is still much more to be done.
I want us to appreciate a lot of what we have been able to do thus far. Not all of it, but a lot of it, or I just say most of it, what we're able to do thus far, have been done utilizing our own resources. We made progress, but I'm a person, the more we've done, the more I would like to see done. That's my approach to anything I do, including the running of the country. But I think we have to be grateful and thankful to the Almighty for where we are today. Do I see the glass half full or half empty? I see the glass half full. And it's a matter for us now to keep pouring into this glass to the point where it will get to the brim, and we would have addressed significantly all issues confronting our country.
Over in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, leader of the opposition New Democratic Party, NDP, Dr. Goodwin Friday, says his party is working on finding other ways to press the Ralph Gonsalves government to acknowledge the seriousness of the unemployment and crime situation in the country. He made the comments on the weekend after the party staged its second walk for jobs and against crime. Friday said the party is considering dialogue with Prime Minister Gonsalves, but it's not optimistic about it.
The effective ways for us to work with government, with other organizations to deal with serious problems confronting the country. And, you know, if it's a matter of one-on-one, we've had discussion, we've talked one-on-one on lots of issues. I heard this morning he was saying on the radio that he doesn't trust me, so he doesn't have any reason to meet with me one-on-one to deal with this matter. I mean, that is just a matter for him for being dismissive. But the point is that I am committed to doing what is necessary, and that includes working with the government and in constructive way, not in any kind of sort of political or simply way to try and make publicity, but to do real solutions for the country.
Friday says engaging youth on topical issues and hearing from them is also important.
People think that young people that they, that they are frivolous, that they only want entertainment and so on. But these were serious discussions, and people they didn't take the opportunity to just simply try and score points against me, which easily they could do, But it was a chance for them to engage with us and to have a serious discussion, and that is something that I enjoyed very much. And we continue to do these things and various other things that we do. Of course, we always have an approach to try and engage as many young people as we can, because this is not just a matter for my generation and for people who are, just a little younger than me. We're doing it for the young people who tell them they're going to be living in this country longer than me.
Guyana's top drug enforcement agency, the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit, CANU, is raising alarm over the increase in the demand for ecstasy in schools. Speaking at the opening of the annual CANU training program on Tuesday, Deputy Director of CANU, Leslie Ramlal, explained that ecstasy, which is also known as the date rape drug, appears to have become more common in party circles and in schools.
This is certainly a new trend and a very worrying one for Guyana. More so, we are conscious of the increasing demand of ecstasy among our youth population, including children in schools. This drug now seems to be the common narcotic that is readily available at many nightclubs and parties.
CANU is reportedly succeeding in its fight against narco-trafficking with the help of citizens who provide information. On the demand side, and with the growing trend of ecstasy among youths, the agency has recognized its social responsibility to educate students on the dangers of drug use.
Our collaborative effort and approach with the Ministry of Education and our colleagues from the narcotics branch of the Guyana Police Force have seen us contributing and conducting investigations in schools where there were reports of the use of narcotics, especially ecstasy, and at the same time educating our school children on the dangers of this drug.
It's becoming such a serious situation that Minister of Public Security Kamraj Ramjatan has issued a call to parents to play their part to ensure that children, especially those at the secondary level, understand the dangers associated with drug abuse.
But law enforcement is just one area that will help in this drive. We have to start changing the culture of Guyanese in relation to alcohol, illicit drugs, and licit drugs. And that is what I think it is. To see it in schools means that we are losing the battle. It is a bad thing. But why is it a bad thing? I get the impression, too, that parents got to have a little more discipline in relation to what their children do and do not do.
And that report was from the HGP Nightly News. And ahead in Newsline Sport, the Trinbago Knight Riders captain hails his team's CPL title-winning performance. Stay with us. Sport is next.
This hurricane tip comes to you compliments the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency and the Caribbean Media Corporation. Be prepared. If the eye of the hurricane passes over, it will be calm for a short period only.
Dominica's World Creole Music Festival in 2018, October 26, 27, 28 at the Windsor Park Stadium in the capital city, Roseau. 3 nights, over 8 genres, 40 years of independence, 1 location, Dominica, the 20th edition of Dominica's World Creole Music Festival. For more information, like our Facebook page, Dominica Festivals. Visit our website, www.dominicafestivals.com for all travel, accommodation, and ticketing details. My love, my home, my Dominica, building a resilient nation. See you there! Proudly sponsored by the Government of Dominica and Discover Dominica Authority.
game is that we get to travel all over the place. And in Virginia here, we get to see some really amazing American history. Just a few minutes away is Fort Monroe, which is the largest stone fort built in the United States.
Trinbago Knight Riders captain Dwayne Bravo and Kevon Cooper have heaped praises on the team for their superb efforts that led them to winning a third CPL title. Knight Riders whipped Guyana Amazon Warriors by 8 wickets Sunday to be the first team to win the triple and back-to-back titles in the tournament. In this report by TV6's Vinod Nawani, Bravo says his men did well despite the criticisms during the group stage.
Trinbago Knight Riders skipper Dwayne Bravo can take pride in the fact that his team won back-to-back championships. He says compared to 2017, the team had more clinical finishes and every player supported him.
Yeah, it's a great feeling, and again, thanks Almighty God for this for this season. I'm happy with the entire team, and I think we did this for the people of Trinidad and Tobago and by extension the people in India who really support us throughout this tournament. We played a very good tournament despite, a lot of people think, we could have done a lot more better because we lost 2 games. But in tournaments like this, you have to lose cricket games. You don't win titles without losing.
Also delighted with the showing was TKR all-rounder Kevon Cooper, saying Guyana are a quality team. He also spoke highly of his teammates, including Kiwi run machine Colin Munro.
Well, obviously, losing our last 2 games before the playoffs, we are a bit disappointed. But having said that, we have world-class players in our dressing room. We wasn't frightened. We just know we had to prepare well as a team. The game against St. Kitts was very important to us. And to come out here tonight and restrict them for 147 was a great effort by the bowlers. And I must say, well played to Manners. I can safely say he's the best overseas batsman in this whole CPL for the last 4 years.
And staying with cricket, right-arm fast bowler Shimon Lewis will replace Alzari Joseph in the 15-man squad for the Test Tour of India, which starts October 4th in Rajkot. Cricket West Indies said in a statement on Tuesday that Joseph underwent 2 fitness assessments recently, and the CWI medical panel recommended that he be allowed to continue his rehabilitation to full fitness for international competitions. Joseph sustained a stress fracture last November and has since been in intense programs to get back to full strength. Meanwhile, Lewis made his debut at the first-class level for the Windward Islands in March 2017 and took 30 wickets at an average of 21.66 in the 2017-2018 West Indies 4-day championships. He recently toured England as part of the Windies A squad, which played against India A and England Lions. Some members of the Test squad are already in Dubai and have begun training sessions at the ICC Academy as they continue their preparation for the Test series in India. And West Indies women will be hoping to level their 3-match one-day international series against South Africa at the Kensington Oval in Barbados on Wednesday. The West Indies are down 1-0 after the Proteas registered an easy 40-run victory in the first match of the Sandals International Home Series. Both teams are looking to climb out of the bottom half of the points table, where they are tied on 6 points. Off-spinner Anissa Mohammed says they will be banking on the momentum from their first game to break even on Wednesday.
Well, we're looking to build on the last game. Looking back at the last game, we know where we went wrong. We played majority of the game to our strengths. We've had a lot of good moments in the game. Unfortunately, we weren't able to capitalize in the second half and win that game. But we've had a day to reflect and recharge, and hopefully tomorrow we would be able to execute.
Poor batting led to the Windies' defeat in the first match, and Mohammed says they will need to concentrate more in the middle.
I think the batters just need to concentrate a little more, spend some time on the crease and give themselves a chance. And once they do that, we can win games easily. I have been doing a lot of work in the nets on my batting. As a bowler, you don't just want to bowl, you want to be able to contribute with the bat as well. And that's something I've been looking at improving. And it was good to see that I was able to come out and put my team in a better position. Unfortunately, I wasn't there at the end to complete, but I can definitely see improvements in my game, and hopefully, given a chance again, I can improve on that performance.
The series forms part of the 8-team ICC Women's Championship, which serves as a qualifier for the 2021 Women's World Cup in New Zealand. Bermudan striker Jonte Smith continued his fine form with a goal in Louis' 2-all draw at home to Enfield Town in England's Bostik League Premier Division at the weekend. Smith, who scored in his side's penalty shootout victory at home to Farnborough in their FA Cup first qualifying round last week, struck in the 42nd minute. Smith, the 24-year-old son of Bermuda's national cricket coach Clay Smith, was also on the mark for his country in their 3-1 defeat to Aruba in their opening CONCACAF Nations League qualifying match in Curacao earlier this month. And that's the sport. That is the sport. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
This month on Caribbean Passport, we take a bite into Barbados at the Food and Rum Festival. We get an intimate look into this world-class event by top chefs and mixologists. And if that isn't enough spice, we visit Pure Grenada. All coming up right here on this station.
Here we go. Head on a swivel. Give me my one and I'm good. Give me my one and I'll go peacefully. Oh, I get the stick. Oh. He's a beauty. Look at that. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-pointer. That's an 8-pointer, boys. Take a picture.
Again, the major developments of this day. Trinidad and Tobago's state-owned oil company Petrotrin confirms that all employees will be on the breadline when the company shuts down its loss-making oil refinery later this year. And in sport, the Trinbago Knight Riders captain hails his team's CPL title-winning performance. That's Caribbean Newsline. For news and sport around the clock, subscribe to CarnaNews.com. For more of our programming, log on to CaribVision.tv and subscribe to CaribVision's YouTube channel. We'll be back here again tomorrow. But from all of us at CMC News, thank you for watching and do have yourselves a good night.